And action. Take one. What questions do we have about football?
Baseball.
Soccer.
Lacrosse.
Curling.
Snowboarding.
Luge.
Figure skating.
Cross-country skiing.
Water polo.
All things Maxx Crosby is going to do on his next team.
We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is G. P. Yes, I see we're the hoodie boys today.
That's right.
Hoodie boys.
The hoodie guys.
The hoodie boys.
Two guys from the hood.
Woo! That's right. No, there will be Q&A tonight. It's going to be a little early, though. Instead of being 7:30 Eastern, it's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern because I'm getting an award tomorrow, so I'm making Valentine's Day all about me. So I got to actually, do some Valentine's Day stuff.
You're getting an award?
Yeah.
Walter Payton Man of the Year?
Yeah, it's just really delayed. They're just like, we can't get you your YouTube gold play button, but we can get you the Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
There you go.
No, we could do that.
Who wins the NFC South? Well, great question.
So today it's gonna kind of be a mixed bag of things.
Actually, I got a good answer for you, Mr. King. Just like this year, technically nobody. Technically no one.
Yeah. I think the NFC South will just come down to a coin flip every year. Every year.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good question, and we will be answering lots of questions. Maybe some could say the biggest NFL questions heading into the offseason. Because today is going to kind of be a summary, a turning the page, because now is going to start getting into the deader part of the year, right? The Super Bowl's done. We got to wait a little time till the combine, and then it's like, oh, a little bit of football. Then free agency is going to pop up. Then it's going to get dead again for a while, but then it's all draft stuff. Then we get to like mid-May, and then it's the real dark period. But we're gonna talk about this now.
There are like, we'll look through the teams here. I'll pull up something to give us a visual to help steer us through it. But there's a handful of big questions looming right now.
Yes,
Maxx Crosby is one. Derek Carr teasing us with a little bit of an unretirement is another. Kyler Murray's a big trade piece. There's Malik Willis, who's probably going to be the top targeted free agent quarterback out there.
True.
And when we go through each team, I think we'll see some other things that pop up. But this is, I don't know if this is the sexiest offseason that we're heading into, but there's some pieces.
It's going to be interesting, like guys like George Pickens, for example, like if he's going to get that contract from the Cowboys, or if he's going to be a big time wide receiver free agent. You have, is Aaron Rodgers going to reunite with Mike McCarthy one last time?
Sexy.
I was talking to my buddy Wes, and we were talking about Mike McCarthy yesterday, and I was like, dude, Steelers fans are so pissed. They're so angry because, especially, like, again, I think McCarthy's good. I think just for that scenario, but if Rodgers comes back another year, it's going to be the same exact thing, and that's going to be tough. I mean, it'll be entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but
we know for sure Big Ben's not coming out for him.
No.
Watching Big Ben get thrown under the bus this last week was pretty good.
It was pretty great. Yeah.
Was that Joey Porter Sr.? Yep. Was like, you know what, guys? Ben Roethlisberger, giant piece of garbage. We did not like that man. But it would have been cool if any of those players kind of said that when, Big Ben was accused of multiple counts of sexual assault. But
yeah, that would have been
better late than never, Steelers former players.
It's much, but hey, listen, they got to the destination that they needed to. Yeah, but it's funny too because I remember this vividly when they were doing the Big Ben retirement tour, right? Like that season where he was a shell of his former self and they were just, all right, let's get him to the end, right? And then they could have that big send off and the whole 9 yards. True's like, why are we doing this? Like, why? First of all, he can't play anymore. But two, It's also like, all right, I think it's a little more nuanced than just like, oh, goodbye to a player that helped us win a Super Bowl. It's not. Yeah, it's a little bit worse than that.
His legacy was tainted for a long time.
Looking at trade for CJ Stroud. They won't trade CJ Stroud in this offseason. I mean, they're not going to do it. But this year is a very big season, this upcoming year for CJ Stroud. You got to hope that at some point you're going to get Tank Dell back, right? I mean, that I think will help a lot. I'm assuming, going to be looking towards their offensive line to try and make significantly better. And they also need to have a reliable run game that they can count on, right? Because that's also Joe Mixon having the season that he did, not this past year, obviously, but the year prior, that helped, a ton. And I did not think Joe Mixon was going to do well there, but then you didn't see him take the field. So
yeah, he had the weird foot thing.
After this playoff run, and CJ Stroud did not have the best season, but like after this playoff run in particular, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, let's see if CJ is still going to be the guy and if he can get back to his rookie ways. But it's also nuanced, man, because a lot has changed since his rookie year. He's lost weapons, his O-line has gotten worse, and he also doesn't look better. So it's kind of a combo of all three right now.
Yeah.
And the offensive coordinator too. They got that too.
Well, I think maybe the offensive coordinator got a little vindicated. They moved on from Slowick. Was it Slowick, right? They moved on from? And then CJ looked exactly the same, if not a little worse. But yeah, I mean,
happy birthday, CSR.
I think it's really it's about helping him with a better run game. I think that immediately makes your offensive line look and perform a little bit better. It takes some pressure off Stroud. I think they've got enough pieces in their receiving game. Nico Collins, he's a true number one receiver. They added a couple rookies.
Higgins, he showed up in some big spots.
So I don't think like their offense is, bare bones or anything, but maybe they add somebody there. But if they can run the ball better, he can probably save his contract, his next contract extension, at least in Houston. But
yeah, Adam, oh man, if Carr comes out of retirement and starts for the Cardinals, I mean,
you got the Cardinals, Vikings, Jets could all be in on Derek Carr.
Well, Carr literally came out and said, well, I'd come out of retirement for a contender. So I don't think he's going to come out of retirement for the Arizona Cardinals. Just gonna throw that one out.
I mean, that rules out the Jets too, right?
Yeah, I don't think the Jets are going to be contending.
Billy Musgrave, who's going to be in New York. Likes Musgrave.
I hope the Vikings bring in Derek Carr.
He likes Aaron Glenn.
I hope.
I don't think Carr going to the Vikings is terrible.
I don't think so either. I think it should definitely happen.
Dude, when Derek Carr and the Vikings just
slice us
the
up.
Packers.
Slice up like I asked for this.
I'll be like,
I was the first person cheering when they signed Kirk Cousins to that $84 million deal the first time. And then I cheered again when they gave him an extension. In terms of the Cardinals, I feel like they have to be one of the largest question marks of this offseason. And the Dolphins are not far behind, right? Like they're hanging around there too. The Jets are going to have to do a full-blown, we'll see what they do with all their draft picks. But the Cardinals are in an interesting spot because they have a top 3 draft pick, right? They're picking at number 3. They do need a quarterback. The problem is the quarterback that they currently have on the roster, Kyler Murray, is due a ton of money. And so I'm sure that they are going to try and get out of that contract, but I don't know if anyone's going to take that contract on because it's not a fun one. They owe him a whole bunch of money. And then it's like, okay, well, you just got a new head coach. How much leeway is LaFleur going to have there in Arizona? Like that's a team that they have some fun pieces, but oh boy, yeah, they I have no idea where they even begin because like they have to figure out their QB situation first.
Yeah. It appears that I think Kyler's on his way out there. I think somebody will trade for him. I don't think they're going to command a big haul for Kyler Murray because I think whoever does trade for him, like part of that bargain is they're taking on a substantial contract.
Sure.
And there might be like, one of those scenarios where they pay part of it this year or whatever. I don't know exactly how it'll work out. And it seems like Kyler needs a fresh start somewhere. It feels like the Cardinals need to move on in a different direction. And I think just watching Jacoby Brissett play better last year, holy fuck, Lord Taco. Do you know how many tacos I can buy with that?
Johnny John John!
Yeah. It's still my dream. Yeah, so that's the concern too. Nobody's going to trade for Tua or Kyler because they don't want to take on those deals. And then it's like, okay, are you going to pull a Broncos, right? And you're just going to cut them and go, we're just going to eat this and call it a day? Because I think one of the biggest differences is, right, after the Broncos got rid of Russell Wilson, right, he did go wind up playing, but not at a very high level. I think that there will be teams that will knock on the door for Tua and Kyler if they're free agents. I don't think that's a question whatsoever, especially if they can get him for a cheap deal. And especially like with Kyler, I think somebody will take a shot on their athleticism. Yeah. Right. Like he would be a guy where I was talking about this yesterday. If you are the Raiders, right, and if they're all in on Mendoza and they're like, okay, he is going to be our guy, it would make sense while the state of their offensive line is, as you would say, hot poo-poo garbage, that maybe you bring in a guy like a Kyler Murray, like a Malik Willis, who could scramble, who could run behind an O-line that's not so great, just so you don't have your young quarterback constantly taking those hits. It could make sense.
No, that's fair. And Kyler's biggest cap hit is this year, right?
Because what was Russell? What was Wilson's? How much did you guys wind up paying? Do you remember?
I think we had I think we had a 50 and a 30.
So it was 80?
Yeah, it was like 80 some total million in dead cap money.
Let's see.
Kyler's contract at this point is more manageable than Russ's was for, a team that takes him.
It's $85 million they took. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that you have, one of these teams go, okay, like, yeah, we're going to take a substantial cap hit because these contracts haven't worked out. Because if you're the Card, I don't know. The Cards also could trade down, right, from number 3 if there's a team that's trying to get into the top 3. Yeah. It feels like the Cardinals just need a couple things. They had no real run game because their running backs all got injured this past offseason. But I feel like it's tough because they just hired a new head coach. They're obviously going to be very focused on the offense. But what's your password?
Whoa, dang it. Ignore that. Thanks a lot, Spot Track.
But I'm wondering if they trade down, and potentially just like try and address a whole bunch of different areas. I don't know, because they've done that before. I don't know. Valentine's Day plans tomorrow. Again, I'm the ultimate narcissist, so I made it all about me. We're going to get an award, but we're going to go out for drinks tonight. So that'd be nice. Perna, what do you got planned for Valentine's Day?
We're going over to my parents' house, and Jess is making dinner for everybody and the kids so they can all hang out and play together, the cousins.
Oh, so Jess is just like having a full, she's got to just do everything for the holiday. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's her idea.
She wants to do it.
When you're married with kids, you're not thinking about fucking going out on Valentine's Day.
You don't want to go out on the day. That's why we're going out today. Yeah. The day it's not fun.
Yeah. You're still They're still in the I don't know, exploration phase, you know?
Gotcha. Oh, happy Palentine's weekend. Found out this year I'm having a second baby, first boy. Could you pals help me pick a name? Well, congratulations. Brandon, a boy's name. We are charged with picking. Will have to pick the name that we choose. So we have to choose wisely.
Bo Nix. Go Bo Nix.
Is that the first name?
Bonix. Yeah, just combine it all. Bonix. Bonix. Bonix.
Middle name?
Wilroy. I like Wilroy as well.
So Bonix Wilroy?
I like just smashing two names together. Two first names. Wilroy. Dick Charles. How about Michael Tim?
Michael Tim.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just looking at names in the comments right now. We got how about Kevin Hugo? Ooh, I like, yeah. How about we go like Joseph Jose?
Ooh, Joseph Jose. For everyone in the chat who's saying DeBrickashaw, wow, just giving away my name here. What are we doing here?
DeBrickashaw is the entire reason we had the Key and Peele sketch about the player names. So
it's true. I like the Bonix.
Yeah.
Bonix, though. You have to say Bonix, not like Bo-Nick. Bonix.
I'm hooked on Bonix and I'm learning to read.
Well, not that well because it's phonics. So like you're still working on it though.
Yeah. Zoltar. Okay. That slaps.
I like that. How do we three-peat? Alex, you'd be four-peating for the Chicago Bears. They have been off-season champions 3 years running. They're going for an incredible run of 4 in a row.
Yeah, but they actually did win the last offseason.
I know, but they actually did it. So that's what you do this year. You hang the banner that says, no, we actually won the offseason. We did it. I don't know how they win it. I mean, probably edge rusher, right? You go if let's just say a Maxx Crosby does get moved. If the Bears got Maxx Crosby, yeah, I would say that's how you win the offseason. If they're able to get a really damn good pass rusher, whether it's in the draft or whether it's in free agency, I feel like that's going to help the Bears substantially because they paid to reinvigorate those trenches, and it really worked with the offensive line, obviously. But the D-line was like, okay, there's some money that's being poured into this, but we're not seeing the results we want to see. So that's what I'm thinking.
So look at this. Post June 1st trade for Kyler Murray. This is a fun thing you can do in Spot Track now.
Oh, you can see in how much it would cost.
You can do extensions and you can do simple restructures on other guys. Cool. But I think Kyler will land somewhere. I think he's got a little bit more upside than Tua at this point.
I agree. Because honestly, the thing is too with Kyler, like we're talking about his scrambling ability, but he's not even scrambling a ton anymore. So like he can, and that's exciting, and especially if he's like, but I don't know if he wants to do that. Like,
yeah, he talked about like, I don't know if he talked about it. I forget where I saw it, but it's just like, yeah, Kyler just some weeks tells the coach that he doesn't want to run in that game.
Yeah.
Which Kyler's had like such a weird persona at the position. You just kind of believe it. I don't know if it's true or not, but he just seems like a guy who does not really love playing quarterback. He just kind of does it. He's just like so athletically gifted. He was like, I chose this over baseball and now I just kind of got to do it.
Now I just got to play football.
I guess. That's not fair to him. Like, I don't know for sure, but he doesn't seem like he fucking loves it. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. So Getsy become the QB coach. I don't think it's like super sexy. It just feels like the Packers are trying to retain the majority of folks that they already had in the building to try and be like, okay, we'll get guys back from injury and we'll make another run. So, yeah, I'm not like, oh, man, this is the most exciting thing ever. I'm still kind of about retaining our special teams coach, Rich Bisaccia. So we're still full speed ahead on that one. But that's
Luke Getsy.
I'll see how that goes. Ooh.
Did you see this? There will be no more report cards for the NFL
my God,
teams.
They won. Oh my God. Because this was a story earlier this year that they were trying to get rid of the report cards. Are you serious?
Team report cards. An arbitrator determined that the NFLPA's conduct violated the CBA and ordered it to stop making public any future report cards.
So because a bunch of owners got their feelings hurt because they ran crappy organizations, now nobody.
How will we ever know which owners are bad, though, Tom? How will we ever know?
We'll have to wait for the players to start podcasts.
Well, yeah. Maybe just their year after year after year after year after year of failures. That'll tell us. Also, Stephon Diggs officially pleaded not guilty to felony strangulation and other criminal charges stemming from an alleged dispute with his personal chef. Now, this story came out this season, and it just magically got pushed back beyond the Super Bowl. Didn't have to deal with this until after the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens with Diggs and his personal chef and the strangulation charges.
I'll make it for an
weird. You ever choked
a
chef, Tom? You ever choked your chef?
I've never had a chef, so
no. Don't lie to everybody.
No, I did a meal service. Like they sent me like the prepackaged ones. That was nice, but then we stopped that because they weren't that good anymore. So that's the closest I've ever had to a personal chef. Just paying for like one of those national services that are like, here's some food.
Yeah, you could never strangle your personal chef, even if you had one, because they could kill you so easily just by
a little bit of milk
dairy in your food.
You know how easy that would be.
That person off.
Like, look, yeah, Tom. Here's a little Parmesan cheese. Oh no, that's vegan. Dead.
Boom.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
that would be you. I think you would be a great man to be a chef for, except for the fact that like all the food that would get made for you would be so fucking boring and bland. But yeah. Like this, so you'd be limited in options, but knowing your restrictions and how important they are, you'd be a good man to work for.
You know, if you want to make it out here this summer, if you grace us with your presence, I will happily cook for you.
No, you made me some of your vegan sausage stuff. You know.
Oh yeah, I forgot I did that in Colorado.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad. Yeah,
I eat a ton of vegetables. I eat a lot of vegetables. I do. I eat a lot. I'm not anti-vegetable.
Man, how many vegetables do you eat?
A lot. Every day. I eat fruit and vegetables every day. I got cucumber, peppers, tomatoes, radish, avocado, banana, blueberries.
Well, banana, blueberry. Those are not vegetables. So.
I said and fruits.
Oh,
they're all. I eat them. You got to have that fiber. You got to. It's
true. You got to be able to
get those nutrients.
Yeah. Got poop. Oh, DJ and Pittman. Yeah. We'll see if Daniel Jones, like what he's gonna, because he's not under contract right now, right? So technically he's a free agent.
Yeah,
so
Danny Jones, Daniel
Jones, like he's got to get better. He's got to recover from a major injury, and then come back and see, if he's gonna be rocking with the Colts again. But I would assume that's what's going to happen. But there's two big seasons looming for two quarterbacks that right off the top of my head. Anthony Richardson, right? What the hell is going on with him? Are they going to continue to keep him on the roster? Or are they going to try to move him while he has some value? And you got JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy, another guy who is, hey, it's now or never. This is your evaluation year. Go out there and see if you can be the guy.
Oh, I guarantee you the Vikings are going to call Daniel Jones.
Baby, come back. Or I think they'll call Sam Darnold.
Sam's just going to be like,
I miss
wrong number. Yep. Boom.
That's it.
No, but like, I think Kevin O'Connell's plan was Daniel Jones. That's why they were okay moving on from Sam Darnold. because the plan was still to develop and have J.J. McCarthy be their quarterback. Then Jones left, and they had already moved on from Sam Darnold. I think Daniel Jones will be back for Indianapolis. I feel like they will offer him some sort of multi-year contract. It's not going to be crazy because he is injured, but I think he likes it there. I think he's played some of his best football there. Now, I mean, and they brought back Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen, at least for one more year. And it's weird that their season is kind of in the balance of what they produce in 2026, and they don't really have an answer at quarterback. It would make sense to see what they can get out of Anthony Richardson, but we thought that was going to be this last year.
Yeah.
So it also makes sense for them to trade Anthony Richardson, and maybe the Colts would actually be a sleeper team for bringing in one Malik Willis. Ooh.
I can see it. Oh, it's also because they went all in and trading for Sauce Gardner too, so they do not have a first-round draft pick. So it's kind of like, oh man, like we are in win now mode, right? And they don't have a quarterback right now, so it's kind of tough,
dude. It would be probably a smart decision to just move on from Daniel Jones because of his injury and just bring in Malik Willis. Like with Shane Steichen, I really like that fit. I haven't even thought about Willis going there, but that would be fun.
Yeah, it depends on what they want to do. Sector, if the Jets saw Fields is viable, why wouldn't they do the same for Murray? It's the contract. I mean, that's the big time difference. They were able to give Fields what is a 2-year, $20 million deal.
Yeah,
right. So
$5.
It is no harm, no foul. Here, if they made a trade for Kyler Murray, they're taking on an enormous contract, and they're picking number 2 overall in the draft. Like, they may be in search for another quarterback. They have a few holes that they have to fix, but yeah, I don't. As a free agent, all day, every day, I think they would make that call. Malik Willis, I think they make that call all day, every day. And I think Perna's right. He is going to be the top quarterback available during this free agency period. And I think he's probably going to get like a 2 to 3 year deal to start. But I was talking about him to the Raiders, and I think it makes a lot of sense because you have Ashton Genty there. If you are able, because it's not going to be a great O-line unless they magically fix it in this offseason, whether the draft and free agency. But if they're going to get a guy like Mendoza and you are behind a terrible offensive line, it does make sense for the guy to sit. It just does, right? And you send out a Malik Willis, you can win. You could design a really nice run game with Ashton Genty and also with Malik Willis, have him scramble 10 to 15 times. Like, I think you could put together a pretty good offense, but I also believe that in Miami, I do think Malik Willis to Miami makes the most amount of sense because if you have HN back there and you're able to have like that dynamic run game,
it only makes sense if they can get off Tua in his contract.
Correct.
Right?
That's the other hiccup. It's like, what are they doing with Tua? Is he going to get cut outright? Is he going to, they're just going to move on because they brought in a whole lot of different personnel. They're making it the Green Bay Dolphins down there. So,
dude, the wildest twist would be the Raiders signing Malik Willis and then trading their first-round draft pick. So instead of trading Maxx Crosby to get some extra draft capital, they give Malik Willis a 3-year deal, similar to Sam Darnold, so you still got that cap flexibility, and the Raiders currently have the second most cap space. I'm not saying they're going to do this, but this is a fun thought exercise here. How much, they could probably get a haul from the Jets just by swapping out from 1 to 2. They could get extra draft capital. They could go to number 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah. And then you're saying, don't draft Mendoza, bring in Malik Willis, and just, build up that roster.
You just had your bets on that. And Kubiak's coming over from Seattle, where they kind of just did it with Darnold. And obviously, Malik Willis has never been the prospect that Darnold was. But when Malik Willis has been on the field, he has played extremely well in Green Bay.
It's definitely a simplified playbook that they're utilizing, too, with Malik Willis. But that doesn't mean that you can't win with this guy, right? And again, if you're able to have that support staff of having some receivers, but also having another run game and any kind of O-line, it'll be pretty good.
It would be awesome. Now, obviously, you're going to be evaluating Malik Willis to a guy like Fernando Mendoza. You're probably this is not going to happen, but you could do a lot if you made that move.
The problem with the Raiders is they're not a quarterback away, right? But they are in desperate need of a quarterback. It's both. Like, they're like, okay, cool. If Mendoza's the guy, you also need to make sure that he is going to be able to be developed and not get absolutely destroyed behind that offensive line. I mean, you saw that with Cam Ward this year, right? Like, that offensive line showed up for like 3 weeks, had a nice run game at the end of the season, and that was that. But Cam Ward was getting brutalized back there, man. Like, he was getting hit a lot. And you kind of want to avoid that just a bit.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the Raiders' offensive problems are going to be fixed by Clint Kubiak. I think their offensive line will look better. I think the scheme will be deployed more effectively. I think Ashton Genty's going to look better. But yeah, they're going to take Mendoza. But it was fun to think about for a second.
Okay, right. Would I rather have 2 first-round picks or 4 second-round picks? It depends on where the first-round picks are, but most likely 4 second-round picks. It gives you more flexibility. You can trade into the first round. You can package those, but it's more picks within the top 100, which a lot of GMs pick the 4.
If you are a good football team, take the 4 second-rounders. If you're a bad football team, take the 2 firsts.
Yeah, again, it's just the concern that you have for the Raiders is regardless of who they draft or bring in, it's just that O-line is abysmal. I mean, they wanted to make their run game better with Ashton Genty. That's why they picked him with the top 10 pick, but their offensive line is so bad that he couldn't really do much back there. So
Carr would be a great bridge. Yeah, Carr would be a great bridge in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, he already knows the system. He obviously knows the Raiders. Yep. And you buy Mendoza time if you think he needs time.
Mm-hmm.
But
JJ and Russell Wilson, I'll take JJ and Russell Wilson to the Vikings. Absolutely.
Here's what's crazy about the Seahawks, dude. They got $73 million in cap space.
Yes, they do.
So they can sign whoever they want on their current team that's scheduled to be a free agent, and I think they're going to sign
Kenneth Walker.
I think Kenneth Walker will be back. I think Boye Mafe might be up. But like, to win the Super Bowl, to have $73 million cap space, to have your quarterback under contract on still a very team-friendly deal, that's insane. Now, maybe they work out some sort of extension for Sam Darnold, or, Sam's just like, I'm cool making $30 million a year. Let's run it back. Like, they've got so much flexibility.
They have so much flexibility. No, dude. I mean, the concern you have about Seattle is like losing a guy like Clint Kubiak, right? Like, because it's like, okay, we got to replace him, but I mean, it just feels like the Seahawks, they did what the 49ers did, right? They they drafted really damn well. Like, they hit on so many draft picks over the past few years, and the 49ers were able to do that, and they were able to make it back to the Super Bowl a couple times. And it just feels like they're in a spot where they have all this flexibility to sign the players that they want, to retain them, but also to dance around in free agency. And if they continue to draft well, the Seahawks, they're going to be just fine. Good. Super Bowl odds in 2026. The AFC is going to be interesting. The AFC was so weird this year.
It's wide open.
It is wide open.
You could have a completely different set of playoff teams next year.
Yeah.
Just based on the fact that the Ravens and Chiefs didn't even make the postseason.
Correct. Like, it's a good question about the Chiefs. I think it just depends on what they do in this offseason. That's going to be like, okay, are they going to get better in the trenches? They're going to be able to get after the quarterback more? Like, what does that D-line look like? Are they going to be able to have a run game? How long is Patrick Mahomes going to be out for? Like, if Mahomes misses a substantial amount of time, like, that is going to be tough to come back from.
I bet he'll be back week 1.
I mean, knowing Patrick Mahomes, probably, but
I'm assuming, but
the homer pick in me would love the Packers there, but AFC, I have no idea. Seahawks will be contending though. They'll be hanging around. The NFC, I think, is going to be just as competitive as it was this past year. So I have to imagine.
Yeah, Seattle's got an excellent chance to run it back.
They do. The only different, you think that the 49ers, even though they still made the playoffs and were contending for that 1 seed, they're going to be better just by virtue of getting healthy, right? Especially on the defensive side. Now they did lose Saleh, that could hurt a bit, but you'd think that they're going to get a little bit better. And the Rams, I think, are still going to be very competitive. So while Stafford is getting older and he might not put up the MVP numbers that he did this past season, I still think they're going to be good, but they also lost coordinators as well. Like, they're just in a competitive division, which makes it a little bit tougher, but yeah, I think Seattle's going to be all right.
Yeah, this is easy. Bring back Mafe, bring back Walker, bring back Josh Jobe. You'd think they'd bring back Shaheed, but who knows? And I bet they let Reek Woolen go. That is, dude, they're in a pretty good spot. Holy shit. They got to bring back Kobe Bryant. So I think you keep as many of those pieces together as you can.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. They're going to win back to back.
There's a 45-year-old Rivers off the couch and 38-year-old Stafford doing better against Seattle's D than Drake May. Prove we have a QB problem in the NFL. No, I don't. I mean, I think they have a QB problem in the NFL just because there are not 32 starting quarterbacks out there that are like really damn good. But Phillip Rivers did not do very well against that Seattle defense. I mean, that was a closer game. It was a very close game, and the Seahawks were able to just pull it off. But I'm pretty sure he had like one touchdown, one interception, and like a little over 100 yards. So I wouldn't put that on Phillip Rivers. Stafford won MVP. So I think he's just a very good quarterback. And what was interesting is what we've seen this week after the Super Bowl has ended, we get all like the mic'd up clips. So the one that was really interesting was Julian Love, right? So Julian Love, who like dropped an interception earlier in that game. He was saying, like Drake May is a young quarterback. He does the young quarterback thing. So like when he's looking, he takes an extra beat to look down the field and be like, okay, let me make sure that he is open. And he compares them to Stafford on the sideline. He's like, he's not Stafford doing like no look passes because Stafford's such a veteran. He's just like, I know where this guy is going to be. I can literally look this way and throw it because that timing is down. Drake May is just a really young quarterback. So for him to have the season that he did where he was successful, I mean, you're behind an offensive line that got him sacked 21 times, nearly 22 times in the playoffs. That's not going to help things. But two, he's also a young dude. So yeah, I don't think that those prove that we have a quarterback problem, but I don't disagree with you that we have a quarterback problem. This has always been the issue is like, dude, like you need a quarterback to go and win the Super Bowl, right? In just even being serviceable. And the problem is sometimes we can't even find a serviceable quarterback, or you can't even find a backup quarterback. There's only so many guys that can actually play the position very well.
Yeah. Drake Mays, he's got to learn the two things that are tough to learn for young quarterbacks. He's got to learn to play QB at a high level under pressure. He's got to learn how to mitigate that pressure himself. And then he's got to learn how to beat an opposing team while just taking what the defense gives you. I don't know if it's so much a quarterback problem as right now I feel like the defense kind of defenses across the league kind of have the advantage at the moment. And we've seen it in the decline in explosive plays from guys like Patrick Mahomes, who are as good at anybody as doing it.
Like Tom Jones.
The defense are just in this little window right now. And it'll swing back at some point in the offense's favor. And we kind of talked about it in clickbait yesterday. But I think a lot of that will be answered by offenses committing more to running the football and just being a little more effective by running the football. And it was something the Patriots kind of abandoned during the game. And Josh McDaniels, I think like his biggest flaw right now is as he's developing Drake May, and he got so much credit for doing a good job with that offense in that game, their answer would have been to run the football. And it is hard for guys like Josh McDaniels, who had so much success with somebody like Tom Brady, and you could just throw your way out of almost any problem. You can't do that with young QBs. I've seen Sean Payton struggle with that at times as well. And that's probably another issue, is like a disconnect between what you should expect from these young QBs versus what these offensive dudes want to do sometimes.
And it's very difficult to run the ball against Seattle's defense too. Like they're also going up against a good defense. And while it was a 9-0 game going into that final quarter, like it felt like a chasm, right? Like it felt just like the Patriots just couldn't get anything going, and they had what was really nice and what you saw with Sam Darnold and the Seahawks, especially late in that season, after week 16, Sam Darnold had a consistent run game to lean on every single game. Like every single game after week 16, because they started with the Rams comeback and then it just got better and better and they finished really well. So just having that, imagine for a young quarterback, that it's like, okay, I can hand it off to Ramondre Stevenson or Henderson and they can get me at least 100 yards. But instead, Drake May is also your leading rusher. That's a tough way to win for a young quarterback.
If a defense eliminates your explosive passing plays, you have to be able to generate those through your run game.
Yeah. Bill's biggest needs, pass rusher, wide receiver, I feel like has to be on there too. Go maybe after a center or something like that. But I think definitely wide receiver and pass rusher that stand out for me a bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think, right? I mean, receiver is definitely needed.
Because
I like what Brandon Cooks did with them, though. Besides
Connor McGovern, that's their center. I think he's a free agent. Yeah.
Like that. Yep. They just start leaking report cards. Well, I just don't think that, are they still making them? And they're just not going to publish them?
We don't want to know what we're bad at doing.
Oh my God. It's just like, come on, man. Come on now.
That had to go to arbitration too. What a waste of everybody's time.
What a waste of time.
What a bunch of sad, pathetic, whiny baby.
Perna got a fake.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he decided on the wedding venue, the Mitten Building.
Ooh.
Let's see what we got here.
Labor Day weekend at the Mitten Building.
Mitten Building. It's in the Redlands of California.
Ooh, Redlands. Very beautiful.
Oh, this looks nice. Okay. Let's look at these venue details. Seating up to 500 guests for a buffet or sit-down dinner. Oh, look at that. They got a summer bell room, outdoor guardian patio. Okay.
Yeah. I know it's going to be happening after the wedding.
But I love sex.
I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth.
I don't watch porn.
They call that the honeymoon.
What a clip.
Here you go, Tom. Marry, fuck, kill. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, man.
Just the three guys from that clip. Honestly, I think I'm marrying Aaron. I think I'm going to marry Aaron Rodgers.
I think marrying Aaron is like the easiest one. He's gonna be gone. You know, there's gonna be darkness retreats.
So nobody will ever know you're married to him.
And no one will ever know. I think I could still continue my relationship with Maya, so that'd be a positive. Oh boy.
I think I got to kill Skip Bayless, and I think Stephen A. might be a little more fun, but yeah. Part of me wants to do it the other way, but that's just because like there's so much Stephen A. out there. It's like Skip's he's been pushed to the side. I don't know. Real tough questions we're answering here today on that.
All right, Woody Johnson. Podcast. That's the biggest question. All right, Woody Johnson's the one who got the report card stopped.
Yeah, Woody. Dude.
I mean, yeah. All right. Well, I'm not really surprised. There's not, because there was only going to be a handful of owners that I'd be like, yeah, like Arizona was going to be up there, potentially trying to get rid of those. Jets, yeah, makes sense that they're up there too. Cleveland, maybe. Cleveland, they got their own issues, but Woody Johnson. There you go. Ooh, Romeo Doubs for the Saints, Jeremiah Love, or Cardinal Tate and Kenneth Walker. Bigger splash, hypothetically. I would Romeo Doubs to the Saints. I think would be a lot of fun. I think that's not Romeo Doubs. I think is because he's a free agent this year. I think his services he is going to be sought after by a team like the 49ers, the Saints, the Patriots, potentially the Bills. I think that there's a few teams that would look to go grab him. I mean, hell, maybe even Pittsburgh. little reunion with Aaron Rodgers and Romeo Dobbs, and Rodgers liked Dobbs, so wouldn't be surprised there. I think getting those receivers would be nice for Shuck. Kenneth Walker, I don't know if he's going to leave the building, honestly, for Seattle. But
no, he'll be
back.
back.
I think realistically, a little bit more Dobbs love. Yeah, I like Dobbs there. I'd be okay with that. Because for the most part, he can usually catch pretty well. So that's what I'm saying. It's the pass rusher, Brock. That's how you win your 4th offseason. That's how you do it. You get a really good pass rusher, whether it's through free agency or whether it's through the draft. That would take the Bears to the next level. It's looking at that D-line, because I think looking at your offense, there's very few things that I think you want to change. Their offensive line was better. Caleb Williams did better.
Yeah.
Their run game was good because they were able to have that 2-headed dragon too. Like Swift played well, but yeah.
Yeah, I bet they draft a running back somewhere. That'd be fun to add in. But yeah, just get better on defense.
Yeah.
And they had injuries really kind of, I think, messed the rhythm of their defense through the course of the year. That at one point they had like no starting linebackers. They were all hurt for a stretch there. They got them back, but then it's like their secondary's all jacked up. Or was it vice? Maybe their whole secondary was out.
Their secondary was messed up, but then they didn't have linebackers for a while.
Yeah, so it was both, right? It was
injured.
linebackers at one point and secondary at another point.
Yep.
But their defense looked bad towards the end of the season. Flip it around. Look bad early, be good at the end of the season, Chicago.
Do you think Big Ben gets it? I mean, their best defensive game was probably against the Rams. It was in that in that divisional round. Like, their defense played really damn well. They played well in the second half of that Packers game. But do you think Big Ben gets in Hall of Fame first ballot? Ooh.
I mean, he's probably a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I don't know first ballot. He could be. I can see the argument for it.
I can see him not getting in first ballot because of what just happened this last week. I'm sure there's lots of voters out there who don't love Big Ben.
Yeah, I could see him maybe not getting first ballot, but I think he'll find his way in there.
Yeah.
I think he will.
Big Ben in his prime was pretty insane.
I mean, this is not going to be a hot take. I feel like Geno's already played himself out of the starting job completely. I think you're only rocking with Geno Smith literally as cannon fodder to be like, okay, no, like you have to still continue to play throughout this, like behind this offensive line. And if it improves and or things get really, really bad, then you're going to, just start Mendoza week 8 or whatever the hell it's going to be.
I think Geno will benefit from Clint Kubiak coming in.
Sure.
I think he'll look better.
So
Geno will be, I think, good enough to buy you whatever time you think you need with Mendoza. And the Raiders aren't really going to know that until they get him in the building. That's when you start to figure out, like, is this guy ready to go week 1?
Yeah.
Or does he need to sit for a while? And it's an individual case you got to make with your approach there. So
Seattle Super Bowl chance of mainstream media still not believing. What more do we have to do? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If I just won the Super Bowl on Sunday, I don't give a flying crap what the mainstream media is saying about my team. I yet to go win it again, right? But I think that they were a very, 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 very good team. And as we've been talking about, dude, they have all the flexibility they could possibly want. So this is what happens when
in them.
You draft and develop well. I think maybe because people were still picking, other teams to win the Super Bowl next year.
Well, yeah, that's just what they're doing. Like, what they're doing there is going, let me provide another option, because picking Seattle is easy. Just like saying the Eagles were going to do it again last year was easy. And because the Eagles, they destroyed the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It's like, who's going to stop Philly next year? I think they're just trying to provide people with a different option.
And now you have 2 Super Bowls in a row where the NFC has kind of stomped the AFC, right? And it has not been super duper competitive. I mean, again, the first 3 quarters, 9-0, but that game, Seattle had it well in hand. I feel like for the AFC, that's the more interesting question because it's like, oh, damn, like what teams are going to come out of that AFC? Like, are they going to look better? Because those playoffs, like they had some really damn good defenses. The Patriots went through them, but I'm curious to see if you can have like that high-powered offense that's going to go with it, right? Because even with the Pats, they had a nice regular season for their offense, but they weren't able to get it like really going at all during these playoffs.
The Patriots are going to have a more normal record next year. Their schedule's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
I still think the Patriots win probably 10, 11 games, something like that. Unless like Drake May is actually terrible, then all hell's going to break loose.
But they're in a winnable division, like the Patriots. So
yeah, the Bills should be good, but the Jets are going to suck. Dolphins, if they did hire the right head coach,
we'll see if they improve.
It's going to take time. In terms of like other big, I think Browns, what they do at quarterback is going to be interesting. Jacksonville, you can make a case, will finish atop the AFC. What big dominoes are there remaining? We talked about Crosby. I don't know if the Raiders are going to trade him.
Trey Hendrickson.
You got Trey Hendrickson, who the Bengals might tag. They might tag his ass.
Let's drag this out for another offseason.
I feel like, yeah.
Let's do it again.
But Trey's 31 and he was injured. You know what I mean? It's what's he gonna do? You got Bosa, who was on a 1-year deal in Buffalo. Is he gonna go back to the Chargers? Or is he gonna join his brother Nick in San Francisco? Cowboys? Oh man.
What are they going to do in the draft? What are they going to do? Their defense, you got to think is going to get better, right? What are they doing with George Pickens? That's the big question mark for them. Are the Vikings going to fold as a franchise? That's the big question for them.
Yeah. What do the Vikings do to help JJ McCarthy and or themselves?
Yeah.
Are they going to go for a QB?
I mean, listen, you let Kenneth Walker go. I mean, he will be getting top dollar in this market. I mean, he's a Super Bowl MVP. He'll be doing all right. And he did it without Zach Charbonnet too.
Yeah. Yeah. Charbonnet, tore his ACL?
Yeah. He's going to be out for a bit.
He's going to be out for a chunk. So Seahawks probably draft a running back.
Ooh, Hawks defense versus QB under 25, 1 for 11, 9 TDs to 11 interceptions. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's when you play a
defense, man.
Defense.
Mike McDonald, man.
He confuses you, and they just don't make many mistakes back there.
No. What teams do you see not making the playoffs in the NFC and AFC? Teams that made it, I can see the Steelers potentially missing out.
Sure.
All right, so they had to have missed it already. Or sorry, they had to have made it. The NFC South is going to be really interesting.
I can see the Panthers missing it.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what the Panthers look like, but I think it's going to be a little bit more competitive in that division, which is going to make it more fun. So I could see that if it gets more competitive. And then I think the Eagles still going to make it. I think they're going to be fine.
You think Mike Evans returns to Tampa? I can't imagine him going anywhere else.
I hope so. I do. I think he will. I think so.
All these guys are just old up here, though, right?
Yeah, but you know what, though? Like, the Bears, let's just say, I'm going to use the Bears. If they brought in a Trey Hendrickson, even if it's for like a season or two, I don't think that hurts, right? If you're able to, you give him a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
He comes in for a couple years. And I think that makes their pass rush better, as long as he's able to stay healthy. So
Russell Wilson, unrestricted free agent.
We got next season.
Dallas Goedert.
It's not who you want if you're Chicago. If you get Maxx Crosby, of course. But I think Hendrickson will have a decent market.
You think anybody's signing Trayvon Diggs?
I could see him getting signed in like August, like a Rasul Douglas, and like give him like a $3 million deal. I can see it, but I don't think it's not going to be for anything lucrative. It's going to be a prove it year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, he did not have a good year in Dallas at all. It was bad. Oh, Najee Harris.
Najee.
But they're in good hands with Hampton. Vidal looked pretty solid. Dude, that's a good question. Where does Ayuk go? But he's another, like, I think he's going to get a very prove it contract. Like, the most I see him getting is like a 2-year deal, because I think teams are going to be like, well, you kind of ditched your last team. We need to see if you actually want to play. But he's another guy that could be, he can go to the Saints, he can go to the Patriots, he can go to the Bills, he can go to the Steelers. I can see any one of those squads picking him up.
Yeah, how do the Niners got to trade him?
I think they're just...
Are they going to release him? Like, I know he's not coming back to San Francisco, but how do they move off of that most effectively?
Let's see.
They can just eat 29 mil in dead cap money?
Because I don't think they have to pay him his guarantees. I think that's what it said.
Oh, something got voided, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they're working through?
I think that's what we... Again, this is from the article that was like a couple months ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
So that's... I think that they were able to avoid it, though.
So he'll just be a straight up free agent?
Let's see.
Assuming?
Let's see. Okay, so Niners, here we go. This is from November. 49ers voided 2026 guaranteed money in wide receiver Brandon Ayuk's contract.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, he got voided, so he'll be gone.
Okay. So, yeah, it paves the way for a potential separation.
Somebody's going to have to like him. It's got to be somebody who was his like a receiver coach, or there's got to be a connection there somewhere, I think, because we know Brandon Ayuk's talented when he's on the field. But for a guy to get a $120 million contract and then get hurt and then just basically tell the team to fuck off.
Yeah, it's not
like
great.
Who's going to want to take that chance on that type of personality?
That's what I'm saying. 1-year deal, man. Like, it's a 1 year. Hey, like, come and improve it. You can play and you can ball out. You get yourself a big time payday. Because if I'm Brandon Ayuk, that's also kind of what I want too. Because like, he's still a younger dude.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, all right, go and play 1 year and ball out.
Yeah. It's like all he had to do was show up and rehab his injury.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want to be close to that substation. I don't know.
Can Jalen Hurts bounce back with the new system and Sean is OC? Sure, he could. It's also like, what is Saquon Barkley going to look like? Is their run game going to be as good?
They just got to run the ball.
Is AJ Brown going to be hanging out there still? It's not just a Jalen Hurts question, but I also want to know what that support staff is going to look like. What is the roster going to look like? If they can get their ground game back, oh yeah, that's going to make Jalen Hurts' life a lot easier.
And they're going to have to do it without their offensive line coach, though, right? Like, that's a big... Stoutland's gone, so that's going to be a big void to fill.
If the Broncos let Wilson leave, Geno's not going to be on any roster. I mean, I could see him as a backup. If Geno needs somewhere to go, I can see a team bring him in as a backup.
Dude, you would love to have Geno Smith as your backup.
He's a veteran. He can go in there and, he's not going to light it up, but he can be serviceable.
Yeah, I think Geno was part of just a terrible offense. I'm not sure any quarterback was succeeding in Vegas last year.
Yeah. I think the Ravens are going to be worst in the North. I mean, I don't know worst. There's going to be some contenders in their division to be the worst team.
Yeah.
But I like the Minter one. So even if they have a down year, but they have something that two of their division rivals don't have. They have a quarterback, right? Cleveland, don't know what the hell you're doing there. Pittsburgh, don't know what the hell you're doing there. Like, yeah, they're going to have to contend with Joe Burrow and like the Bengals and stuff, but I don't think that they're finishing last. I think that they have enough on their roster to at least be a solid team. But those windows.
Yeah, Linderbaum, that's I'm working on my free agency videos of like what every team's going to do or their biggest need. And I think like the Chargers need to heavily pursue center Linderbaum.
Would you have rather beaten the Bears and lose to the Seahawks the way the 49ers did? Yeah, I'm okay with that. I would have been totally fine with that. Won a playoff game and we beat the Bears in the playoffs. All about it. So yeah, that would have been nice instead of losing to a division rival. Would expect to be blowout. I think it would have been a very tough game.
Yeah.
It would have been a very tough game for the Packers with their current roster. Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, Ayuk to the Titans. Not bad.
Raiders, Cardinals.
Ayuk to the Raiders. Ayuk to the Titans.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one.
Somehow, Brandon Ayuk will just end up being a Bengal. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, and Joe Burrow lasted 3 weeks again.
Listen, I would take Geno Smith as a backup QB in Green Bay. Absolutely. All day, every day, I would take that.
Dude, I think any team would take Geno as a backup.
Because, like, he's also just a good locker room dude. And, like,
yeah,
you know.
Dude, did you see the
They do need weapons.
He took a beating all year in Vegas.
Yeah.
And kept getting up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh. This actually, that would be, I mean, listen, I love Scary Terry. That would be real interesting.
Dude, Ayuk replacing Deebo Samuel in Washington. Yeah. I think Dan Quinn would be that's a good fit to have as your head coach if you're Ayuk. That'd be fun.
You need a wide receiver too.
Denver?
Yeah.
Talent-wise, yeah. I'd take Ayuk. If you could guarantee me one elite season out of Brandon Ayuk right now, I'd do it. Sutton, Ayuk, sure, why not?
I don't think there was anything that was good that was going on in Vegas last year. I don't.
What was Geno doing in the locker room?
I don't think there was anything going on as well. No, I don't know that one. But yeah, I mean, he's a veteran quarterback.
No.
Packers are going to need somebody because no Malik Willis. So,
dude, Geno Smith was literally giving Pete Carroll all of his medicine that he needed to stay alive.
He was the one separating it into like the Monday through Friday.
He was chopping up his food for him so he could eat it.
Perna, what do you got coming out today?
Nothing. I don't think anything today. We've got a Jets video. Should be going up tomorrow.
It's just about how good they are?
Just about how they were the worst team of 2025.
Oh, okay.
They were historically bad.
Yes. So not good.
Not good.
Okay. That's fair.
Dude, Geno Smith in Kansas City? I don't mind that. If you're a Chiefs fan, you got a little question of Mahomes. Maybe he's not ready week 1. You got to rock with Geno Smith. Not the worst.
Get through. Q&A tonight. We will be rocking with that. And then
you got nothing going on next week, right, Tom?
No, nothing at all. Sunday, we're going to start streaming at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central Time, and we won't stop streaming until we raise $1 million for undue medical debt. We're doing it again. We're going to see how fast we can raise $1 million this year for charity. There'll be 2 ways to donate, either through YouTube, it takes no processing fees, or through the fundraiser site as well. But yeah, that's going to be a grand old time. So no GPS next week, just because we're going to be streaming for a while, lactating at dawn, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, if there's time, then it might be back, not this Monday, but the following Monday after that. But then it's vacation time. Bills go after Ayuk. We just talked about that. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, they need to go get a wide receiver.
Hey, another 1-year deal for a Bills receiver. Why not? But yes, I would like that.
They need somebody. And again, like Cooks did well with them. Like Brandon Cooks, like he's been bouncing around a bit, but he did pretty solid with them, in that short stint. So we'll see. Back day done. But folks, I will see you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. Happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. This is GPS. And as always, you have been navigated.
You've reached your destination.
There we go. I combined a few things.